is going to be Rise starting on that attacker side. I think this is where, I mean, we saw them start to mount a really great comeback on it early on. They clearly looked confident on it, clearly looked comfortable on it, and that was off some of their great aggression, some of the great play around the utility of Derek. But without further ado, this time the lobby's for real. We're into map 2. It's a best of 3 series. Loser is out, and well, the winner continue that run towards a chance for pot of that $2,500 prize pool and with some points towards the main event. And early on, it's aggressive down long, great curveball, and the frag eventually found make that 2 for FYB. They're hot off the rip as Rise. They're trying to reply. Shanks dashing into the site, but Jelly, see all, no all, sees them in position and is ready for the defender-sided spawn push. But Shanks, well, he sure as hell isn't. That's a great trade back, and Rise find themselves down 3 as they're looking to aggress, and it's a firing squad. Shoot away, Poise trying for something, and well, it's gonna be flawless in the pistol for FYB. Blink and you miss it.
Firing squad is a form of execution for a reason. That was just quick, a done deal, plain and simple. Now, look, there's two sides of this, or two sides of this kind of a conversation, if you would. You can either say that Rise didn't get off to a great start, the hit over towards A wasn't great, why wasn't Shanks looking at heaven, blah, blah, blah. But at the same point, you can say that Frick Your Bag, with a 4 push down towards long, had a really great read on the situation. Again, kind of comes back to that homework. I think that is something that Rise can easily improve on. They had a good reaction to when they just lost 2 players to immediately send it A. If they somehow cleared out Heaven, you would have seen a little bit more of a palatable round for them, I'm almost certain. So not the greatest start for them, but I don't think they're exactly out of the clear yet. Frick Your Bag, no. I think they're going to play a lot more passive, knowing that they're up against Pistols.
They did invest into those Sheriffs and looking for some damage with it. Shanks on this push-up. With that frenzy and the close angles, that's where that gets dangerous. Nervin for support, and he's found his way all the way to defender spawn. Multiple pushing passes. They check the angle, yeah, but it's a little late. Trades still favor the side of FYB, and Jelly tries to spray away. He can play around the cage to stay safe, and it's just the pistol up for Neptune. No effect found, and this looked dangerous. It still could be if that frag's found, but it won't be. Poised, whiffs the shot, and it's the Spectre of Huston to clean up too. Great round there on the conversion for FYB.
Yeah, I don't think there's all too much to say that was, you know, particularly riveting about that round. You know, you just kind of saw the pistol versus SMG diff right there. Nice running and gunning from Frick Your Bag, easily overtake the site, only losing 1 member in the midst of things. So you're going to see this as a near full bonus for the Frick Your Bag squad as well. But we shift over to the side of Rise. This is where we see some of those higher expectations come to fruition. They're buying up the Vandals and the Phantoms, and now we get to kind of see a full-on gun round, how they want to handle the bulk of this game. And it seems like right now they're going to be keeping a lurker over towards Showers, just to kind of control space, which I think is going to be a major factor for Rise basically in the entirety of this game as well, but also with a heavy emphasis towards B long in particular.
This is what we expect out of Rise, right, Ito? It's a slow play. It's a default. Right. It's the vibe for that control. But I find it interesting that they don't seem to put a whole ton of pressure in these defaults, right? Like, they're not really poking and prodding too much until now. And if you notice, it's just that kind of one lurk towards A and is committed towards B here. This could still be very dangerous, right? If they do decide to push on to these SMGs. So I love the call that they're going to kind of reassess towards A. They've already pulled some rotations off said site.
They're being very thorough. Look at that. A dodge. Huston, Houston, however you want to pronounce it, you're going to have to learn his name because he is a smooth criminal. Smoke out. Rise. It seems that they want to finish up executing. And the thing is, they know this camera's over towards A, so I think that will actually really, really help their case. Execution does indeed come through. They've managed to avoid every single duel so far. The denial of info is certainly there. Now Rise need to actually do something with it. Fights being taken. No finishes just yet. This is getting real tense, Mimi. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, this is very dangerous. They still have U-Haul control for FYB, and I'm not going to write anything home yet. And this first opener should be huge. It's trades even. Jelly finds 2, maybe a little more. His brethren on the Spectre. 3 for Jelly on the round. Cypher doing work. Now they'll push in. Weapons are covered, and these players are so low on Rise. This is very doable, but the spike is still down. Gravity well up, pulls them off, but nothing found off of it. Rotation through. Shanks finds position. The backstab a factor. Comes down to
Not
timing here.
watching.
Flip, so you peek this, you fight this. Yes, you do, but so low on the HP. One shot will do it, but the pinch from Shank shuts down. It was scary, but Rise does find it.
But are you happy about that?
No, not really.
Right? I mean, we're looking at massive casualties there. At the end of the day, you know, it's a big number up top that really does matter. Rise get a nice breadstick up top, but this won't really be any easier of a task, right? They've effectively dismantled the bonus, but now we have to go ahead and do the same thing against operators this time. Upgraded rifles. And how does that kind of change up how Rise are going to play this? Do you expect, well, actually, I was going to say, are you expecting them to take aggressive duels? But they seem to be doing the opposite. Bathrooms is basically the only thing that they're actively pressuring early on.
Rise is, I mean, they're kind of a chill team, honestly, on the attacker side. Like,
Very
they
thorough.
really do love just, thorough. I think that's the perfect word to describe it, better than a long-ended response I could find. But they're very aggressive once they get on defense, and it's the same to be said, really, for FYB. Like, they have great information off this push from Huston all the way down long. Could still be someone towards Hookah, they know that, but look at this, they're continuing the push. You can spot out the minimap there. The cones continue to clear this space, but Shanks finds some of his own. Huston ready, that's completely free. Neptune unprepared for it, and they'll even fall back. This is the right call. Hold your advantage, hold your space. They've even earned to run it back off that.
It's this crazy Fricky bag. This is the sort of same mentality that they had on Ascent. Again, just stretching for a single part of map control. It's a big part of Valorant, and just putting on a clinic right now. Rise, I think they're playing well against it. You know, they had the right idea of how they wanted to counter it, but lost a very important fight for them. Spike's still over towards A, though. I'm expecting a late execute, maybe around the 15-second mark. That's when they're going to start actually contacting up.
Yeah.
But they need to make their move soon.
They really do. Look at the cages. Into the late round, these get dangerous. Johnny on the site. We saw him put up numbers before in this position. 10 seconds. They need this down now, Kieran. Is holding it. First shot down for Nerf. Swing out. If they deny the plant, they win the round. Won't happen on the floor, but Rise disadvantage. How do they keep pushing? Toys for one. Huston on the trade back. Hunter's Fury. Perfect connection onto Huston. Another tag as well. That's information given over in this 2v2. Operator for Truro. Yeah, they know one's short, but where is the other man in this? They're still not aware, still not ready. Recon Dart shows face, but so too does it show Shanks, and Derek has to swing out. Maybe one, but he's holding this. They need to get him off. And the spam does connect from Derek.
Derek is an absolute monster. Had it all to do there. 0.8 seconds away from defusing, and the round just barely inches away in favor of Rise. And look, we've talked about Pivotal a number of times. That right there is of utmost importance that Rise pieced it together. It took a miracle play from Derek. Look how he lined up this final kill on. That was perfect. Life or death, kind of. It saves your economy. Frick you bag. They're going to be effectively bogged down to pistols, but I'm still a little bit scared from Rise. Sure, it took a great play from Derek there, but you know, again, they had to come down from the 4v5 to get this far.
Oh, that's an awkward start to it. It is just the lighter buy up, so it's good that they at least find one there, but you're still not going to call home about it. You're not going to be too pleased about it. There is a push up. FYB, they have their Cypher on the lurk through the showers position. If he finds something here, finds a multi.
I think they hear this.
Maybe a chance.
Yeah, they're watching for it.
Oh, this is good. Well read. Neptune ready. Will he fall?
Smart.
Absolutely. Nothing that Jelly can do. Absolutely right. This is the Rise Classic. Yeah, they're slow about it, but it allows them to be methodical. They think through every option, think through every approach, and they win rounds off of it. This one, almost an insured conversion. I'm not sure if Nerf even goes for this. Nerfed? Excuse me. That is sore. Maybe we'll get to see them later, but this is Nerf, and whoever he is, he probably just wants to keep this Vandal.
I would imagine. I mean, it's going to be better. I mean, this was still kind of a half buy for Fricky Bag at the end of it all. But yeah, great stuff by Rise. That is the patience and thoroughness that we were praising Rise for previously, and I'm glad to see they completely shut out the flank just by being very diligent. Actually covering their bases, so to speak. Of course, as I say that, though, as Neptune is watching the flank, he just gets domed by Nerve, but a couple of exits isn't the end of the world. Rise will quickly clean that up, move on to 3. I don't think we haven't exactly seen anything all too crazy from Rise so far, but this seems to be a pretty solid formula for them. 3 rounds in a row like that. being able to take a bit more of control of the economy, and again, just being on flank watch constantly, I think is going to be a really big factor for them to continue the success.
Yeah, I think so for sure. Remember that both these teams, though, are probably going to be better on the attacker side. We saw it on
Right, I
Ascent,
think
right?
that's right.
Like, they strive when they can kind of set that pace, allow the slow style, allow this, but this is not slow from Neptune. Moving up aggressive, Dart shows face, and it looked like he was maybe ready for an operator from Truro to try and negate that. Won't happen. This is a bit more of a passive trip, actually. I'm pretty surprised they're not fighting this shower control, but seems to be working at least early on.
I think because they got denied B long, maybe later in the round they're going to push for something, but I think if they ever do, it's going to be down towards A shore.
Yeah.
Because like they have at least a couple of getaway options there. I don't know. I mean, their options are relatively limited. No, it's actually going to be peek out towards Hookah. I don't know how I didn't see that one coming, but apparently Calypso didn't either. He is totally blindsided. And, I mean, Evil Cat, Mimi, let's be honest here. This is something that we have seen over and over again.
It really is. This is what we talked about in the pre-show. Calypso needs to be finding his stride on the lurks. Won't happen this round. Throw down below, in close, Gravity Well connects, and Shock Dart in your face. Good damage. Turo, he's really the man to keep our eyes on here, because he's tucked into the nebula, hears them all around, the paranoia. Doesn't really matter, but Shanks is in over his head. Over top of him, the beat of Derek, just barely showing it, just up for 1, 2, and the spray away for 3. Shut down by Neptune, but he should have done enough. Neptune last man. 19 seconds, and the spike repossessed. Tap on it. Push out for defender spawn, and the spray connects to the first. I thought he can convert it, but no. Enough done off the heroic play. It's tied up.
That was unreal. They're pinging it on the radar. You can actually see, like, how did we die to that? It was so well thought out from Rise as well. Look how great this execute was looking for them, but I don't know if it was a miscomm. I don't know what happened to that person in Cubby. Neptune, the reaction seemed slow. As he saw on the radar, he was looking at him, but couldn't quite angle his crosshair onto him. And it ended up being massive for a triple kill. Oh, frick you bag. Robbery right there. Daylight robbery at that. Rise are going to be hurting a little bit, but they'll still have enough money to fully invest. This is where you're going to see a bit more of a change in approach for them. This time they're fighting so aggressively for showers this time around. Houston, mind you, he was playing Hookah the round previously, so he is just kind of going around the world on bind.
I love that they do actually decide to fight towards the Showers position here. I think that Showers and Long, two of the most crucial fights you can take on this map, because that's basically the teleporter control completely yours. If you do hold those positions, and the ult orb, you're absolutely right. I mean, these positions have so much value. And I think that Rise has actually been able to farm this pretty consistently. We see him with 3 ults available. Blaze already up, but FYB, they can do you 2 better at that. 5 available on their side. Recon towards the back site, but even a Nebula up. Utility usage is so good for FYB to keep the pressure off, to keep Rise at arm's length, and they might be trying another lurk here for Calypso, but look at where the cam is, and look at this double elbow hold.
This is the FYB classic.
With the camera? I'd imagine. Yeah.
Oh, certainly
position revealed.
They haven't seen the bomb, though, and I think that's pretty big news.
30 seconds left.
Because they haven't brought in rotations just yet. Never mind. There's going to be one joining the party. That's going to be Truo. And he's not even going to have to go massive this time. Simple is doing a ton of work with a kill through the cyber cage like that. And Rise are looking for an evener here. Nothing given. Spike will be planted regardless. But now you're going to see Rise start going for fights. They need to. They cannot stay at this player disadvantage. So they're going to fight towards elbow. First kill not going to be found. That's Poise being taken down. Shanked soon after. It's Derek against the world. He's went massive before. It was a 4K previously. This time, how about an ace? Can you somehow do that for us?
Not gonna happen.
I don't think so.
Yeah, shut down. Flawless as well, Kieran. Like, we called it out initially, and I was questioning it for a second about that double elbow hold, but remember who is there. I didn't see it at first, but it is the Sova and the Cypher. First point of contact, the cam. Then you have your tripwires. Then you have a recon dart and a drone. There's so much information, and Rise isn't running a Sage. I know a lot of teams love to plop that Sage wall there to kind of nullify that smoke spam, but they don't. They don't have any way to counter it, and that works perfectly to defend the site. I love the setups we've seen from FYB. It's been very creative, and while Rise has consistently found counters, they'll need to do so pretty quickly because they're 2 rounds of momentum against them, and On a pretty bad buy here.
This is strange. Immediate smokes towards CT in heaven. Are they just going to be straight up executing? Talk about a change of pace. Rise is full sending it towards A.
Yeah, good
There's
start.
A couple of players sitting on site, but yeah, I mean, maybe things are not going all too beautifully. Still, though, they stay even.
They bait the Hunter's Fury. If not around, that's something. Guns recovered now. Very doable here. Plant down as well, so post-plant available. Utility a little bit lacking. I'd imagine they'll want to fight these duels quickly. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Really trying to fight back, and he's waiting for support. It's here. And there's the Cosmic Divide. Up to play, isolates them, but everyone's fighting in front of it. Calypso down low. 2 towards that U-Haul position. Where is the first contact coming? Grabwell up. So is the recon. Neptune known. Another fight ready. Calypso needs to swing out. Yeah, they're trying to fight. Attempting to, but they're not winning the duels. Think out, damage done. Neptune needs a little bit more. Not able to do so. Finds it eventually. Needs the 1v3. Already found one, but Jelly, safe hands, shuts him.
Caught between a rock and a hard place. You know what? I don't think that was too bad. I'm actually relatively happy with how Rise managed to handle that one, considering what they were given. In pretty minimal investment. A complete swap of pace like that is certainly going to catch FYB off guard, and you got to learn a little bit about how Huston, I'm still trying to find out what the official word on that one is, but how he has been very, very dynamic. This time he's over towards B-Long, before he was at Hookah. This time he was up in the cubby towards A, and I'm wondering if Rise have kind of got it through their head that we need to try to sniff out this information early. So I think as time goes by, Derek is going to become more important than he already is for the info alone. They need to try to diagnose how FYB are swapping up their defensive end this time, because they're going to have something new up their sleeve seemingly every round.
Looks like it. Neptune? Kind of jumping for some information here. This is back to the slow pace. Like, the change of pace almost worked for them, but not quite able to close it out. I feel like they can try that again. The buy round, not going to happen. Calypso for 1, but the trade's good.
With that, they've spotted exactly where this Phoenix is located, and they might tuck tail, or at least kind of change how they're going to set this up. I wouldn't be surprised to see a double satchel play from Net. Whoa, never mind, we'll get to that later. FYB are pushing Hookah! There's 50 seconds on the clock, and they weren't content with an even player advantage like that. That's unreal.
Look at what they've allowed, though. Shanks has the sight. Poise does as well. Good positioning towards elbow.
They hear it.
Yeah, they know all the information given. Here comes the hot hands. Where does that land? Oh, that's perfect.
Beautiful.
Right at his feet. Damage done onto Derek, but that's unconfirmed. You don't know he's hit up. Shanks holds towards defender spawn. Will the Hunter's Fury connect? The tag found. No kill, though. Won't happen. Huge. There's still shocks. Still a chance. Shanks needs to die soon here. Every second he buys favors his team. Nerve, top of the Astro utility, looking for something. The first fight is Truro, and through the tin can, he wins it. Now the push out. Huge round here for Rise if they can win it, but FYB still shutting down. Push out. 1 for Shanks, 2, maybe more. Jelly swinging out, shuts it down.
Well, that was scary from Rise. Honestly, I was kind of happy with the post plant there as well. Kind of locations that they're doing. As you pointed out, Shanks was continually taking a fight with the player and defender spawn. The big issue for them there was kind of a question mark on how many players were located in Hookah. Derek had a very tall order on his hands to try to find out all that information with his Hunter's Fury alone. But the fact that FYB only showed 1 player at most made it just so it was like a never-ending Matroika doll of players coming out of Hookah over and over. Layers again to the defense and the offense. Rise have the right idea, though. I think they're on the right track of how to deal with this, and Derek is taking a lot more of a forward position and fulfilling a very important job.
Are nesting dolls called the Troika dolls?
I think so.
I never knew that.
Pronunciation might be a little off. I'm not
We're learning about Valorant from the teams. We're learning about Russian culture from Ito. Everything we need to know here early on. But for Rise, no way you just linked the Wikipedia. All right. Well, you're absolutely right. Matroika. All right. That's pretty cool. Now, regardless of the dolls, it is Rise still on the back foot here, but they do have another buy, Kieran. But this half is starting to run out, and if they keep losing like that, the buys are going to be pretty few and far between as well.
Oh, God. That timing. Please, God. Calypso, little does he know, he just completely conceded the entirety of B long. He's gonna actually look back. There's a duel taking place over there. No, he's caught out. That's a trips down. Flanks can be aplenty now. That's gonna force Rise to push. They need to. They're down a player, and they have a perfect opportunity to push it in towards A. There it is. 2 kills found. There's 1 traded back. Simple struggling to stay alive. This man's practically on life support as the spike fails to go down. The pressure will be once again immense, overwhelming. In fact, True is able to find the kill through the box onto Poise and actually double up onto Shanks. This man is a monster.
Oh, almost.
Jesus, Neptune hit that.
Yeah, they got it so close for what it was. Look at this, every single player. And FYB is low, but the crucial frag there was, again, Calypso dying early. How many rounds has he been the first one to fall? Because that opens up the flanks like you called. That opens up the round like you called, and well, Rise, they kind of struggle when they're pushed into these positions where they're forced to take fights, right? Because FYB, they knew that as well. They knew Rise were looking for fights. Everyone pulls back for a second, plays passive, uses their utility. They do not let those slip away from them, and ooh, that's an unfortunate one. It's just another full eco.
I'm thinking how they can go ahead and help out Calypso, because I don't really think it's necessarily his fault. It's just strong timing and frick you bag with the mix-ups. Tactical pause being called, mind you. I think now's a solid time for it. Maybe wait until the next gun round, maybe, but you know, we're starting to reach the latter end of this first half, and Rise don't have too much to show for it other than a streak of 3 rounds towards the very beginning. I think maybe like Chaperone just alongside Calypso just to watch these angles for a little bit longer might help out their case, kind of play the same way that frick you bag are. But I don't know. I'm sure Rise are kind of a bit stumped as well of how to deal with this weird setup, oddly timed aggression that seems to just be perfect for Fricky Bag.
I think that one of the big, if we can try and nail it down onto something a little more specific for them to counter out, it's been a long push.
Right.
That's happened, I think, 3 rounds. And every single time it's either gotten a kill, information, and normally that converts into a round win. I think that Rise, if they keep playing this slow style, they need to put more pressure into their default.
That's true. I mean, thing is, though, they've also done it over towards Hookah as well. You saw that a couple of times with...
I mean, it's the adaptability.
That's what's been so good for them, certainly. Do you think it's just like they have to grind out these defaults longer, go in pairs? I mean, again,
maybe pick
many
up
ways
the
to slice
pace.
the cat.
Some of the eco rounds, when they did, worked well, but they're trying it. And Huston shuts down. Opening frag, hot hands out. That's no trade potential. Oh, this is weird now, right? Like, they're smoked off. There's so much utility in your face as soon as a frag is found. Disadvantage to scram away. Shanks falls. That was a danger, man. This round taken off its feet. All of the big players gone, and oh my god, they can't catch a break.
Unfortunate player.
Last player standing.
This is ridiculous. Rise struggling to piece together anything, Derek, at least with one final closing frag, but same story, different round. Maybe that's the way to sum it up.
Feels like it. 6 rounds in a row now, Kieran.
Certainly frustrating to go up against, but I mean, I still have hope for how Rise could play their defensive side.
Yeah.
You know, if they were to pull these same sort of mix-ups, I could see it being effective. Frick your bag, as we saw in Ascent, really favored taking a single portion of the map for themselves. That's something that can be repeated the other way. Rise could be right back into this game. It's far from a done deal. We have high expectations of this team, but, you know, right now they certainly aren't exactly showing up to the way I think any of us thought.
Yeah, here it comes again. The double long push. So you need to win it this time. He will. Has
is he ready for the second?
Ult. Yeah, that's a great question. Playing around this, I just like to second. Calypso
third?
looking for redemption, and maybe even 3, spamming away. It's awkward, and the pistol does it in the end, but it's a 3-on-4. Now down to just 2. Frick your bag. Finally on the back foot. Nerve, no HP.
That was good.
No life. This looks like a 4th, unless there can be something big. Pulled out of the bag here for Truro. Blaze expended, just a rifle in hand, and Shanks on the aggressive line finds 4. That's the magic number. That's what Rise needed.
Well, you know what they say. You never expect the third person pushing long. Like, You know, these pushes do come out of consequence. If you start bleeding numbers like that, you know that maximum, the number of players at the other site is going to be 2, and that is going to be relatively easy for you to overwhelm and hit.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Rise did. Better late than never, certainly, but that's the sort of thing that can be kind of hard to diagnose. It's so easy when we have X-rays and know exactly what's going on, but being able to find out just how many players are infiltrating various parts of the maps is a whole other beast entirely. So props to the side of Rise for being able to adapt at the last possible moment, but now they need to do even better. It's a cliche always, but this pistol round is going to be big.
It really is. Scoreline looking indomitable. It's a push up towards long for the side of
flash
Freaking
play.
Bag. Yeah, you're right. There's a player in close. Neptune dies here. Could be crucial, but there's the paranoia.
Push it.
Perfect setup. One.
Don't push.
Maybe more. Not happening. Neptune on the nade. Can't get another. Freaking Bag. Great response with the
Spike
shot
down
dart.
B.
What? Derek, where did that come from?
don't
Out of
think even he
nowhere
knew.
pulls too. Yeah. What do you do now for Rise? You're at advantage. You can just chill out. And FYB, they thought that this pistol was theirs. Now they're forced to reassess, but they're not out of this just yet. Both players healthy. Position found. If they can isolate Calypso here, maybe get one on this entry, there's always a chance.
Oh, certainly. Pistol round of all rounds. All slates are even. Double cyber cage is still in effect. We're not out of the woods just yet, but Calypso holds another very powerful spot here. There we are. Spike taken out. The finish right behind it. Great round from Rise. It was looking... I'm not going to try to spruce this up at all. It was looking real bad. You know,
Yeah, it really
the
was.
idea to push long like that, knowing that Fricky Bag, you know, they push in numbers. Was certainly risky, but Derek came to the rescue with that double shock dart. And here we are. 8-5. Rise back on the board.
Something about that long position in shock darts is the hollowed ground. In the last week's NSG summer event, I believe, I forget who was playing the Sova. I think it was Plix on the Sonics and just got a triple towards long with a shock dart. Exact same position, similar situation. It's a great combination here, but there's a good buy-in for Rise. I mean, this is their chance for a 6, Kieran. They win this, really get the ball rolling, and they're immediately back into the game.
Feels good to know that there's an entry back in. Here's the showers control I guess we're expecting to see. You're just going to see again the SMG versus pistol diff right here. Nothing particularly of note, but it's solid for Rise. You know, minimize those casualties. Try to bolster that eco as much as possible and you'll have a very healthy bonus. I think Calypso's at... he's so close to dying
Oh, he's
here.
on the cam.
Oh,
Really
dude.
important here.
could
Oh,
see
just the narrow angle found. Calypso's really stepped it up. We called him out.
He has.
We were ragging on the guy a little bit, like, come on, man, you gotta do better. Well, he did it. Found his way back in the last couple rounds, and FYB, they do get at least one frag, and this is just a weird round, Kieran. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, because they're just pushing up, finding these frags, and Neptune spotted him, taking him out. Truro, oh, I don't know how you get another with the classic there, man. Whatever. Still a round for Rise. They're not gonna be too disappointed in that.
Yeah, my classic doesn't do that. I mean, maybe I just have like a defective model, something like that. But regardless, it is round number 6 in play for Rise. And it is going to be the bonus. Kind
This
of
goes here.
interesting. They have a bit of a
This is
hodgepodge.
a nice spot.
But either way, they're sticking with the idea of, we can go ahead and get rifles next time around. Let's just go ahead and
That's cool.
have our hopes. Interesting
This is a nice
for
spot.
Calypso. And, you know, actually, to go ahead and kind of talk more about the point of what you're saying. Yeah, Calypso really did step it up. I feel like his kind of weak show form at the beginning wasn't 100% his fault. Like, Fricky Bag were just pulling out some really crazy mix-ups, and I'd be frustrated as well, but, you know, a little bit more discipline to stay trained on those angles and just be well aware of the fact that, you know, it's an endless stream of players heading into your crosshairs has really been big for him. So, well played, you know. Props where props are due.
Push up here. Nice positioning found, and Derek has that. Dude, Derek just loves his Guardian, man. I feel like we haven't been able to see him get like a crazy clip with it yet, but you know, he's gonna keep giving it a try, keep buying on into it. But overall for this round, it's back to the classic of this game. We have a nice lo-fi default play to chill/study to at the beginning.
Yeah, the anime girl is actually hidden next to the teddy bear, I believe.
Really?
Not 100% certain on that.
I'll have to
yeah,
get the
yeah.
observers on that between the next round.
They're gonna hate us after this. 3 players pushed up towards long, by the way. This is gonna be a quick burst
30
onto the
seconds
site.
left.
I'm still waiting for those smokes to come through. They're playing contact. They are. Playing contact in a situation like this is exceedingly risky.
Yeah.
When you're up against
They lose
bonus
too.
rifles like that.
Shanks does just have the frenzy here, but the amount of pressure he's applying is huge. Jelly still has a weapon, but look at the time, Kieran. I just realized there's only 10 seconds left.
10
Maybe a
seconds
little too much
left.
lo-fi, guys, because now you're out of this. This is just a save call.
They chilled and relaxed too long.
Dude.
That's a little bit unfortunate. Rise, I mean, hey, they'll take that. I don't
Yeah.
think they're going to have any qualms whatsoever about basically getting a free round with only 1 casualty. Sure, Fricky Bag minimized their losses as well as overall a pretty pacifist kind of round. You know, very minimal kills, but I don't know. Those smokes came in a bit too late. That execution seemed a little bit lackluster.
Goes here.
It was disjointed. There was
Really was.
what? There was 2 players ready to push towards
this is
hookah, but they were
nice.
really late.
Yes.
By the time the players were dead on site, they were only just entering hookah. That's why they had to reset, call it off. You cannot be making those mistakes if you're going down to the last second. You have to commit fully.
Flying drone.
Doesn't happen, but it is a great opening for Rise in this one. Keep going here, simple. Thrown up, but Shanks does have the operator. He's dangerous with it. Cage in close. If this wire connects for Calypso, could be
won't.
dangerous. Won't happen though. Shanks in close. The opposite shotgun in his hands as he finds one. Nerve on the trade back though. Now the Hunter's Fury. What's the play? Will it connect? Maybe even a double. No, actually threads the needle. No shot connecting. FYB, well, they can still commit into this. If Nerve dies to Shanks, if Shanks gets another here, could be awful. Remember, he still has the tailwind, can dash out if he needs to. Not even a factor, because Shanks is farming away with his
enemy
bomb,
remaining.
shooting everyone who contests him, poised for one, and well, to swing around, nearly flawless, only 1 on the ground, as Rise tie it back up.
That was so patient from Rise. Again, credit where credit's due. They played the pacing of that round so well. Shanks, I was a little bit concerned about the angle that he was playing towards U-Haul with the operator, but if there's anybody I trust playing a flashy angle like that, it is him. But on top of that, you know, the discipline of poise to kind of stay towards the defensive spawn and wait until Fricky Bag were really forced to try to take more aggressive positioning, and then they fully punished. This is why I was feeling more confident on how Rise were going to play their defensive end, and it seems that, you know what, it feels like I was right. It's still 8-8, it could swing either way, but this is definitely an upwards trend for them compared to what we saw on Ascent.
Here comes
One and
Shanks
done
again.
angle.
Yeah, well, it's not one and done for Shanks. Dash up. Good call. Don't overfight. Oh, okay, never mind. Shanks
yeah,
is
no.
gonna try and do Shanks things. Dude, take a chill pill. You don't have to fight every single angle. He's not punished for it though. Still full HP. His teammates take flak to protect him, but Jesus Christ, he's going for another angle. Not gonna connect it
They have
again.
pistols. Chill. Christ, this guy. I love it.
Really go with this. They're set up for the TP. It will come out, but they never pulled rotates. Still are 2 players here. A third coming in on the rotate. That's Shanks. He wants to take another aggressive duel, I would imagine. Calypso holds the line on this cross, though. Good position forward. Here comes Shanks. Finally a connection. Nearly the collab won't happen because the team has his back, and they clean it up with 5.
No one left to
So
listen.
what did they learn from that Rise? Right? They kind of realized that Fricky Bag have trouble getting past the starting line for starters. They haven't been farming orb regularly towards bathrooms.
No.
I mean, those are really decent threads to pull on if you're Rise. Certainly looking a lot better in recent times, so if they can keep on denying those vital parts of an offense, Fricky Bag might be forced to go to a 3rd map here. Still too early to call though, I think. Rise, or excuse me, FYB rather, still have another confident buy in play, including all the rifles that you could hope for. The big question mark lies on how are they gonna, ooh, wait, look at this. Showers.
Put down.
Could be dangerous. Calypso first, second for poise.
Just
What a
huge.
start for Rise. Like, I mean, you know, they keep trying to push these extremities late into the round. It's not been working. Nerve does find one. Good way into the site.
this,
Good
boys.
way to open the door back into this round. Riding the TP across into the cloud burst. True, oh, that's a bit over aggro. Bit over zealous. punished for that, punished for the hubris, and so too is Neptune. They're taking these duels one by one. This is how you lose rounds. This is how you throw a man advantage, but Shanks still safe in the back lines with 2 off the Blade Storm. And Rise, man, they just keep rolling with this momentum. It's 6 in a row now, Kieran, and there's still not attack pause in sight.
I mean, there was a tack pause for a while, but yeah, that was still first
didn't do
half, and it was
anything,
for the
right?
other
Yeah.
side. Since that tack pause, Rise have looked like a completely different team. It feels like they're capitalizing on those small advantages. I mentioned the fact that they weren't farming orb. Very next round, Rise have infested the place and found 2 kills. Shanks, of course, closing it out with style. Nice little Blade Storm there, but this is exactly what I was hoping to see out of Rise. They're picking up on these small things and looking much better while they do it. But, you know, on the other side, you can talk about how expensive that round was for Rise. 2 ultimates used. I think Derek used his
Still
previously.
have 9k on everyone.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't matter all too much when you can afford ops, like the Gucci version of the ops. I don't really think so.
You can get the
Shanks is
custom
holding that
Mike
angle,
and
by the
Ike
way, long.
skin on there. I'd actually love to see
Sweet
that.
play
like,
edition.
screw team guns. I would buy a skin if it was, you know, like how like the spline one is like 3D. There's all the we'll have to wait on that description because there's to run it back in for Huston to
Go
try
in
and
my
open
notebook.
this up. Good use of the Astro utility there. This is a site for FYB, but
He needs info.
yeah, they need it. They need a frag here. Something. There's a showstopper up for Neptune. He's considering this. You see the ping, thinking about the aggression. Double checks it. Wants to wait for the team. Play this safely. Play this together. True on this off angle. Top of the shed, looks for a shot, looks for a way in, but he doesn't destroy the dart
Spotted.
in time. Shown now, yeah, Jelly in close. Showstopper up for Neptune, not gonna connect. Onto the floor, no shot. Garrett has the trade back though, but Shanks up. Another trade on the retake. Jelly fighting out of the showers in Truro 2. Awkward in the cloudburst. Derek onto the pistol, eventually connects the frag. FYB need this, they need it now. Simple might be the one to
more.
do so. Hunter's Fury up, 1v1, pop the ult. Oh, did it connect? It didn't connect,
Wait,
he does
what?
hop off,
What
but
are
it's
you doing?
tapped already. Frag starting to come through. He needs to push now. Holding on to this. You need to get him off. You need to shut it down. And there's just no time. Diffuse comes through. Rise on 11. You get the kill, but it doesn't matter, Simple.
Talk about a Calypso redemption arc, too. Being able to finish that one out here. Nerves of steel when you're being pinged by a Hunter's Fury like that. Okay, right there, it kind of seemed like comms were a little bit strange. Simple was tossing his Hunter's Fury over towards bathrooms, or not bathrooms, excuse me, U-Haul. It just kind of seems like a bit of an error in how FYB are kind of handling these post plants. They got into a 5v5. Things can obviously get very chaotic, but you know, that's something that experience will fix. Not the end of the world for them, but we're very nearly reaching the end of Bind. Rise, on their map pick, have come alive like a phoenix.
Remember how they closed it last time, though?
That's true. The
5
comeback
rounds
was
in a
there,
row.
wasn't it?
They could
Does
do
it
the
start
same
here?
here. They might have to. Throwing
like
towards
this
long.
setup.
Jump peek, good info. Poise in the close corner. Ooh, nice nade. Pours him into the dark
So
cover. Poise
beautiful.
has the entry. Look at this utility. They're so coordinated. So calm. The experience showing. There's the cage towards elbow. Drop out for FYB. Poise on the utility. Is he ready for Truro? Truro needs something big here. He combines with Jelly for 2. On the site. Calypso holding. The redemption arc might just continue here, but no. Falls onto one. Shanks. Been the man of the hour before, the man to watch. They have good posturing for the post plant. Operator in hand, a dash to work with as well, and utility teaming.
hurting
How can
now.
he isolate these?
He has Cloudburst available. That's going to be his ticket to victory. I think he picks up the rifle here and tries to force an engagement long.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is Shanks after all. I think he actually might stick with the operator.
Maybe
Let's
he
be
goes
real.
for one here. He's holding this to half. Dart tags him. Shot through the smoke. That's a 9. You said it yourself. Maybe this is the beginning of the comeback. Very well could be.
Honestly, I am surprised that they kind of wiggled their way out of a bad position like that. As you see in the radar, or not the radar, the replay, Truo held a very important ground there.
Player standing.
Have you noticed that's actually the second time that he has been like the menace under window, being able to completely
Yeah.
shift rounds. Before it was a 3K, that one it was just a very important, crucial kill at the right time. But, you know, on top of that, Jelly being able to somehow push through, that was a solid setup for Rise that still somehow got dismantled by a miracle solo play. If FYB can still get away with that, yeah, this game certainly isn't over yet. This map isn't over yet.
Eco's still teaming for Rise. They have a buy in this one. I think they'll even have one next round, even if they lose here. But after that, that's when the table
If
could
they make
flip.
it close, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Truno needs this entry. But an off angle
Spotted out.
adopted from Poise. Yeah, that's huge.
Good start. It's actually staying. Hasn't left. Hunter's Fury up. Nerve. Looking for the corner. Derek has Simple. Sovadiff off the Hunter's Fury. Another tag found. Great work with the Hunter's Fury there. Spam awkward. Trying to get out. Poise wins it. Jelly for one. Who's in control here? Who's in command? It's hard to tell.
One's a market.
Yeah, Rise has advantage. You're right about the market
One
flank. He needs to
enemy
break the
remaining.
trip or maybe commit to the updraft. Won't need to. So on to
Did he
Jelly.
hear
You've
the
seen
trip?
Calypso do that. He did. But he falls back. Off that, Jelly knows that there's someone here. Looks to fight off of it, but I mean, look at the Ditto. Look at the Cypher utility on the
Yeah.
A side. He commits there. Has to contend with 2 trips. Cam, this is hard.
30 seconds left.
It really is, because it's going to be a massive question mark whether there's still that flanker to worry about. So he has to clear every single angle. That's crucial time off the clock, which he could be clearing the site with. As soon as he breaks this, he's going to have to toss out his cam to try to clear a close angle, then get the plant down. At that point, it should be easy picking for Shanks.
That might be
It's
it.
going to end even before then. You're not
Yeah.
expecting the tripwire.
That round, to me, that
Match
just felt
point.
pretty disjointed, Ito. Like, people were pushing
Yeah.
up, taking individual fights, losing them, and there was kind of a joint effort towards the end there to push the B site, but Spike was never committed to that play. It was always on Jelly. He was always in a fairly passive position, at one point towards Hookah, but there was never any committal. Like, FYB, they're normally a team to be so coordinated, and, well, this is, like, at least the second or third time this game where we've seen rounds like that, where they just play the default, lose a man early, and then don't regroup, and just kind of lose every gunfight.
Get out of my way!
Bit of a flop for sure, but you know, on the other side of the coin, you can equally praise Rise for being able to get away with these kills without the refrag. Flash play, this is really right back to what we saw in the pistol round. This time they're not
Spike
engaging
down,
nearly as
B.
much as they did previously, and that will go ahead and minimize the casualties that they take. Only 1 frag found for Fricky Bag.
It's gonna be a map 3.
Hard.
Yeah, could be Haven. You're absolutely right there. Gun recover for Truro. Bladestorm still in hand. I think if someone needs to make a play, it has to be him. TP, an option. Pushing the site,
No, they
an
don't.
option. But look where Shanks is. He's still here. So are the trips. They're not going to rotate off of this. They're committed. Dash in. Gravity well on the combination, but Derek finds it.
Needed
Does
that.
one better. Jelly and Nerve. Last 2 to work off of this. And, well, one's known. Try and pull back. 50 seconds to work with. Look at the aggression. Poised.
push?
Pushing the dark cover. Does he commit to the aggression? No. One happen falls back, but Jelly's shown on the jump peak. And this is a tough call, Ito. Where do you go with this?
See, thing is, both of the positions are actually known as well, so wherever they go,
30
obviously they
seconds
have to
left.
push together.
Yeah.
Safety in numbers. That tripwire. Oh, never mind. I mixed up my tripwire colors. It's not the old update. I don't have that excuse anymore, but
One
I
enemy
mean,
remaining.
Shanks is just playing this to perfection.
Spike
First
down
angle
A.
found, he can back up, and his team will do the rest of the work.
Oh, TP. 10
I
seconds,
don't
there's
know
still a
about
man on
this
the
one.
site.
10 seconds
Yeah, I
left.
don't know about this. Down to the 1v1. Derek here needs to hold it down. Push should come around. Should just be getting put down, up and over the top. It's the shorty to close. A disrespectful ending to a great game of Rise. Tie up the series. Now take us on to Haven.
Second round comebacks are just the bread and butter of this of this tournament so
Yeah.
far. We saw on map number 1 from Frekia Bag, Rise coming alive in the second half, and some really interesting Valorant